I recently got a chance to join a team of scientists from University of Alaska Fairbanks, led by Dr. Ken Tape, who are studying beaver expansion into the Arctic. The climate is warming across the world, but is especially fast in the Arctic. There, temperatures increased about 1 degree Celsius per decade, almost 4 times the global average. And so the ecosystem is changing fast, and animals are on the move. We floated the Wooluk River in northwestern Alaska in the traditional territory of the Inupiaq peoples, right at the northward range limit of beaver. We got dropped off by bush plane on a gravel bar, and then spent the next 5 days collecting data as we paddled and camped our way downstream in pack rafts. The Arctic weather was intense. The beavers had been busy. In the last decade, they had built many dams that had transformed river channels into new beaver pond systems. This then melts permafrost and releases methane. These ecosystem engineers are profoundly changing aquatic habitats. It was also exciting for me to see some Arctic chum salmon near the edge of their northward range. These and other salmon are expanding into the Arctic, with their range expansion linked to years with warmer oceans and less sea ice. The vast Arctic ecosystem is relatively free of human infrastructure that could impede these ecosystem adaptation. In this region, the exception is the road to Red Dog Mine. Scientific research discovered that this road impedes caribou migration. Even as the ecosystem shifts and adapts to change, climate change poses real harm and risks to coastal communities. Permafrost in the Arctic is like an icy foundation under everything, maybe only 50 centimeters under the surface of the tundra. As this thaws, the land sinks, it subsides. The landscape is actually starting to fall apart in places. In these permafrost slumps, the smell of ancient stored carbon being released was overwhelming, like 15,000-year-old death. This land subsidence, as well as sea level rise and decreases in sea ice, are eroding Arctic shorelines. For me, seeing all of this really hammers home how climate change is rapidly transforming ecosystems in complex ways. Species like beavers and salmon are both passengers and drivers of change. And all this has hard and real consequences for people. It really affirms the urgent need for global action on climate change to enable these ecosystems and communities the time to adapt.